What's good? It's Music Nick. Today I'm breaking down this sample and beat I made inspired by Slime Language 2. It's the beat that's playing in the background right now. We'll let it play for a second and get right into the video. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Let's go. So our first sound that we used here was this Grimmer's Lake out of Pigments, Analog Lab 5, the soft lead. A bunch of effects on here, but we're gonna turn them off because it just kind of makes the CPU go too crazy, especially this right here, this TR5 Tape Machine 440. I just got this recently, just like a tape machine effect. We're gonna turn that off because it goes too crazy. It's a little too much. Can't even play this shit back. See, the CPU just like came all the way back. So we started out with this right here. It started out in A minor, then we transposed it up. So it's just super simple. And then that just repeats right there. So simple, repetitive, with the intention of adding a bunch of effects. So like we did, we added tape machine, we added some cassette, just some basic stuff. We had an effect rack with a preset. I think it was the Cushman echoes I've been using. That's going to be I'm working on my Sound Toys on my effect rack expansion. That's going to be on producerplace.net. We threw on a gross beat where we used basic 9, which has this little effect right here, and then we also threw on a half gate. We kind of like mess with these settings right here just to make it only a little bit, and those, as you can see, are like turned off. But we have right here in the arrangement, we have automation for those, so they come in at different times. The gross beat, the halftime, and then the halftime actually comes in only halfway right there. And then yeah, just a basic EQ. So what we did with that was we put on these effects, we balanced it out, and then we got this right here. And all we did here is we had like the entire like thing, but then we just took that first little bit because that's where it had like, that's where it started, so the effects weren't on it yet, so it kind of has like a little swell to it, so each time a little swells a little bit. Except for that one right there, we used that last part right there that got different, but every other time we're just repeating that first section, so it kind of has that swelling effect. But then of course we put on halftime, and we put on the gross beat, and it completely changes it. And then of course we got this flute that comes in. Where did said flute come from? Said flute is from Arcade. It is from Passport Funky Flutes. So start out like this. But the timing is just a little bit different because we balanced that out, then I chopped it up and bounced it up again, so it just kind of has less space in between. So basically I just changed the bounce of it. Just a couple effects around the flute. We got this True Verb stereo from Waves. Got this I think it's the I just reset. It was live vocal plate, but then we bring it down to like 23%. We got Valhalla Vintage Verb. Just messed with it a little bit from the default, and also brought down to around like 23% mix. We put some delay 3 on here on just like the 6th time. Brought down the level and the wet and the tone, so it's very subtle. It's on ping pong, going back and forth. A lot of panning on that just to give it some width. And then we threw on cassette just to give it like an older feel and just kind of like mess it up a little bit. We threw on this effect rack, which is just like my favorite like reverb, where I mix together the ambient echoes plus the stereo ambience. The most important thing is the stereo ambience because it really makes it wide. So we kind of got the delay, we're giving it a wide effect, and then we got that making it a little bit wider, and then of course just like EQing out the high and the low. And that just comes in that one time. We took all of that. We did my thing that I've been doing a lot recently, where we then took like all that right there. We bounced it, reversed it. Actually, that's that part right there. So we actually took this part with the halftime, and then we reversed it. And then we took that reversal, we half-timed it here. And then we of course bounce all of that together. This one, put it down 100 cents, as you can see right here. At that point I also actually added this just a loop of a texture from my it's actually from my Music Guitar one shot kit, which is free on musicbeats.com. We got all these textures in here. It's actually just the beginning of that right there, or no, sorry, it's wind chimes. Yeah, it's these wind chimes, I think. Yeah, it's the wind chimes, but then I brought them down an octave. It's just that first part repeated just throughout the whole thing. It's got a stereo image on it, makes it wider, some EQ just to make it parts we want, just subtle in the back there. We put on this compressor. I don't really know too much about it, but I just go into the factory settings and choose mastering opto and just leave it on how it comes. EQ'd out some parts that we didn't like. Mid-side matrix, just kind of like boosting some shit. And yeah, that's what we came out with in our final sample. So our strategy, one, like limited amount of sounds, but basically putting a bunch of effects on those simple sounds and creating different sections with different effects turned on and off to like make it simple, sort of repetitive, but also different at the same time. Alright, we got the drums here, super simple, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sounds. So let's just go through each one, I guess. Feeling, you know, sort of like the Wheezy style. We're going for a rim. Grab this south side rim number 4. Brought it down one step to B. The only special thing we did here is you know, that one little thing right there each time, that one extra note. And this sound came from the Lunchbox Lunch 77, shows the screen drum kit. I think it's either in the snares or the perk section. So that's that sound. Next we had this closed hat trap. We had two, this is again from that same drum kit. There's two versions of this. I started out with this version. So just having a little bit of change of pitch, a subtle change of pitch, some stops, some chops, but like a lot going on, but not too much. Doing things a tasteful amount. So especially with one of these slower BPM beats, you can get a little bit more funky with the hi-hats, and you probably need to get a little bit more funky with the hi-hats, or it's going to feel a little bit empty. But at the same time, if you're going to get super funky with the hi-hats, be careful about getting super funky with other shit, like going too crazy with like perks or something. That's why I only have 5 instruments, because I went crazy with the 808 and I went crazy with the hi-hats, and those kind of mesh well together because one's super low and one's super high. So those mesh really well together, going crazy together, especially if they're kind of hitting on the same things and working well. So then everything has to be super simple. The kick is just accenting that 808. The open hi-hat is just adding energy like every other bar, and otherwise there's literally nothing else. So yeah. We then had a second version of the hi-hat that comes on in the first half of the chorus and the first half of the verse as well. Just simplified, just basically took away some of the chops, less pitch shifts. And I always, after I read my hi-hats, I always select all and do Alt-R and do the randomization on the panning velocities. That's why you can kind of hear it moving. It's panned to the right, but you can also hear it moving a little bit because it's got that velocity randomization ever so slightly. So yeah, the hi-hats become a little bit more exciting every other bar. And then when they become more exciting, that's also with that open hat is accenting it, and that just comes in. Super simple, nothing fancy there, just hitting like that. Again, the 808 has a simplified version, so when I wrote it originally, it was this. Oops. So just got that like the box crescendo type thing, chop crescendo. Just wanted to have some fun at the end of each bar. It's only like interesting thing, we got like a little slide right here. But yeah, I just wanted to keep it simple but exciting at the end of each bar, and then definitely on the second one get even more exciting, which I wanted to like get the pitches going. First half, it's much simpler, no crescendo, no high notes, and just like less going on, like no like drum chops and shit. So yeah, a lot of this beat is just simple, then exciting, then simple, then exciting, then simple, then exciting, with different parts of the melody coming in and out, which, like I said earlier, was like really simple melody, just 2 sounds repeating, but with lots of different effects either on or off. So kind of making that the melody also going from simple to exciting, simple to exciting. But overall, there's a lot of space for an artist on here, and I feel like also with the slime language too, there's so many different artists, and like all the songs have like multiple people on there. I feel like the changes of the melody give a good opportunity for like changes of artists, so then it would like sound natural, and like maybe like one artist who'd sound better on like a lower pitch part would sound good on like the first half of the chorus here, where it's like half timed. But then the second part of the verse, someone else comes in when there's more energy, and the more energetic drums come in, and the more energetic melody comes in. Maybe somebody with more energy comes in. So yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunities with this beat. The last thing, I guess, yeah, super simple. The only thing we ever put on our drums is like some EQs, just cutting out highs and lows. That's all I really do. Then the 808, nothing. The kick, nothing. My fucking beat tag, nothing. The melody, I guess we did do a little bit more EQ that we felt was needed, and then I did this EQ for that filter at the beginning and end of the beat. To mention, the open hat is also from the Lunchbox. Lunch 77 shows the screen drum kit, which is free on Reddit, and then the 808, the Island 808s from Artist, and 808 and Post 20 drum kit, quality drum kit. Go cop on 808 or Artist BeatStars account. That shit's super dope. And then the Nick Mira Berry kick, classic, amazing kick. I use it all the time. That is in the Forge kit, and yeah, you can go get that at wavesupply.net. And then we did our TR5 classic clipper, -4 on the slope, 0 on the output, 6 on the gain. We leveled this out by taking the 808, leveling it out to -6 dB right there, and then leveling out everything else accordingly, and then throw on the TR5 classic clipper after we did that. And that's how we got to where we are here, and that's the final beat I'll play out right now. If you like what you see today, comment, like, subscribe, you know, all the YouTube shit, and go peep producerplace.net. That's my new website. There's some dope shit on there, so I'd really appreciate if you just go like take a look. So yeah, until next time, I'm out of here. Peace.